The arena was huge, filled with hundreds of spectators, all shouting and laughing loudly. Above them, bright lights glared down, showing every detail of the fighters below. In the center stood the Earth prototype, small, unassuming, and unlike any other warrior here. He looked ordinary, almost weak, with plain armor and calm eyes, while around him, others stared in disbelief. The crowd laughed, pointing fingers, whispering insults. "Is this really the champion?" someone asked. Even the announcer's voice trembled as he tried to hide his amusement. "Introducing the Earth prototype," he said. From the shadows, the challenger appeared, a tall, muscular warrior with shining weapons and confident steps. She moved gracefully, every motion showing strength and skill, and her eyes glinted with pride. She stopped in front of the Earth prototype and laughed softly, her voice full of mockery. You think you can fight me?" she asked, tilting her head. The crowd roared in agreement, laughter echoing in every corner of the arena. The Earth prototype said nothing, only standing quietly, letting the noise wash over him. The challenger raised her weapon, a long, sharp blade that gleamed under the lights. Her armor shimmered, showing the marks of many victories, proof of her reputation as unbeatable. She circled him slowly, eyes scanning, searching for weakness, while the audience held their breath. Every step she took was precise, showing confidence, while he remained calm, almost still. "Everyone, watch closely," she shouted, raising her weapon high. "This will be easy." The crowd cheered, some throwing insults, others shaking their heads, unable to hide their disbelief. The Earth prototype's face was unreadable, calm like a quiet lake before a storm. No one knew what he was thinking, and that silence made the air tense. Then the duel began. The challenger, striking first with quick, strong attacks. The Earth prototype barely moved, dodging slowly, almost lazily, but enough to avoid her strikes. The crowd gasped, whispering among themselves, "Is he really this weak? Or hiding something?" The challenger frowned, confusion appearing in her eyes, her attacks becoming faster, stronger, more precise. He moved differently, not like other fighters, not like anyone she had ever faced. Small, controlled steps, dodges that seemed impossible, as if he predicted her moves. The audience was silent for a moment, tension rising, curiosity replacing laughter. She swung her blade, faster than ever, but he sidestepped with ease, calm and confident. The Earth's prototype finally spoke, his voice, soft but firm. "You'll laugh now, but soon, it will be different." The words were simple, yet carried weight, and the challenger paused, her confidence shaken. She shook her head, smiling nervously. "We will see," she said, but doubt had entered her mind. The crowd leaned forward, feeling the change in the air, the excitement building with every passing second. He stood tall, calm, almost ordinary, but something about him made the air heavy. No one in the arena could explain it, not the announcer, not the spectators, not even the challenger. The duel was about to begin in full, and everyone knew something unexpected would happen. And as she raised her weapon again, the Earth's prototype's eyes glinted with quiet strength. Everyone held their breath, waiting, wondering what this simple man could do. The mockery had not ended, but the first spark of fear had begun to grow, and in that moment, the arena, the crowd, and the challenger realized this duel would not be ordinary. It would change everything they thought they knew about the Earth prototype. The air in the arena was tense, thick with expectation. The challenger tightened her grip on her blade, eyes never leaving the Earth prototype. She circled him slowly, testing, watching for any sign of weakness. The crowd leaned forward, whispers of doubt mixing with laughter and cheers. With a sudden shout, she lunged, a fast and powerful strike aimed straight for him. The Earth prototype moved lightly, stepping aside with ease, almost as if he had seen it coming. The crowd gasped, shocked by his quick reflexes. Some murmured, "He isn't weak." Maybe they were wrong to laugh. She attacked again, faster this time, a blur of motion. Every strike was precise, sharp, and dangerous, meant to end the duel quickly, but the Earth prototype remained calm, dodging with surprising skill, each movement calculated, smooth, and controlled. Unlike any fighter the audience had ever seen, the challenger frowned, frustration rising, her attacks becoming more aggressive. Her blade sliced through the air, sparks flying as it nearly hit him. He stepped back, letting her momentum work against her. Then, with a sudden twist, He sidestepped, and she almost stumbled forward, caught off balance. The crowd was silent for a moment. Unsure if they were witnessing skill or luck, her eyes widened, realizing that his calmness was not weakness, but hidden strength. How are you moving like that?" she shouted, disbelief in her voice. He didn't answer, only met her gaze with quiet determination. She tried to strike from another angle, faster and sharper than before. The Earth prototype anticipated every move, dodging effortlessly. The audience could feel the tension, their excitement growing with each exchange. Whispers turned into shouts. "Look at him, he's amazing." The challenger's confidence began to falter, her strikes less certain. For the first time, she was unsure of her victory, a hint of fear appearing in her eyes. He began to counterattack small movements, testing her defenses. A quick feint here, a step back there, showing glimpses of the power he had kept hidden. The crowd erupted, cheering for the Earth prototype, the underdog they had once mocked. The challenger stepped back, her breathing heavy, realizing she had underestimated him. Every strike she threw was now met with calm precision. She tried to regain control, but he was always one step ahead. Reading her moves with ease, the arena seemed to hold its breath, time slowing as the duel continued. She raised her blade high, aiming for a final strike. He waited, then dodged and countered with a swift motion. The sound of metal clashing echoed through the arena, sparks flying. The challenger stumbled backward, shock and fear in her eyes. The crowd roared, excitement and disbelief mixing in the air. The Earth's prototype stood tall, calm, confident, showing no sign of fear. It was clear now that this duel was no longer a simple fight. It had become a test of skill, will, and courage. And in that moment, everyone realized the mockery had ended. The Earth's prototype was not just a fighter. He was something more, something no one had expected. The challenger's pride began to crack, her confidence shaken, and the audience leaned in, waiting for what would come next. Knowing the duel had only just begun, the challenger's eyes narrowed. As she tried to read his movements, every attack she launched was dodged with ease, every strike met with calm precision. The Earth prototype remained still, almost ordinary, but a strange energy seemed to radiate from him. The crowd was silent, sensing that something extraordinary was about to happen. She swung her blade again, faster than ever, aiming to break his defense. But this time, he did not just dodge. He moved with speed no one could predict. A flash of motion, a blur across the arena, and he blocked her strike effortlessly. The sound of metal clashing echoed, louder than before, and sparks flew in every direction. The challenger stumbled back, disbelief written across her face. How is this possible?" she whispered, her voice trembling. The Earth's prototype's eyes glinted with quiet power. He had been underestimated, mocked, laughed at, but now, the truth was about to be revealed. With a sudden burst of speed, he moved forward, dodging a counterattack. His fists glowed faintly, energy crackling around him like lightning. The challenger raised her weapon, but she froze, stunned by the change in him. The crowd gasped, some even falling silent, unable to believe what they were seeing. He moved with incredible strength, faster than the eye could follow. Every strike was controlled, precise and powerful, yet graceful. The challenger tried to swing her blade again, but he caught it effortlessly. The force of his grip made her stagger backward, shock and fear filling her eyes. Spectators whispered among themselves, This isn't possible." Some covered their mouths, unable to hide their amazement. The Earth prototype lifted her weapon with one hand, then gently set it aside. It was a simple motion, but it spoke volumes. His power was unmatched. "You laughed at me," he said quietly, voice calm but firm. "Now you see. The Earth prototype is not weak." The challenger stared, her pride crumbling, her confidence shaken. She had never imagined that this quiet, mocked figure could possess such power. The crowd erupted, cheers filling the arena, admiration replacing their earlier laughter. Even the announcer could barely speak, voice trembling as he stammered, "Impossible. The Earth prototype. He is incredible," he said. The challenger's eyes widened, fear and awe mixing in her gaze. He moved again, demonstrating strength beyond imagination. A single leap, a swift strike, and the challenger barely avoided being knocked off her feet. Every movement was precise, every attack controlled. The Earth prototype was no longer ordinary. He was a force to be reckoned with. The challenger dropped her guard slightly, realizing she had underestimated him. Her pride and arrogance had blinded her to his true abilities. The audience could feel the tension, their excitement building to a fever pitch, and in that moment, the arena knew the duel had shifted completely. The Earth's prototype stood tall, calm, powerful, no longer mocked, no longer underestimated. The laughter had died, replaced by respect, awe, and fear, and the challenger realized, for the first time, that victory was no longer certain. The challenger's confidence wavered as she stared at the Earth prototype. Her attacks, once fast and deadly, now seemed slower, less precise. Every strike she threw was met with ease, dodged or blocked without effort. The arena was electric. The crowd on the edge of their seats, cheering and gasping with every move. He moved with quiet determination, his eyes never leaving hers. A small smirk appeared, almost unnoticed, as if he knew what was coming. She swung her blade fiercely, trying to regain control of the duel. But the Earth prototype anticipated each strike, stepping aside with perfect timing. With a sudden burst of speed, he moved closer, closing the distance. The challenger tried to counterattack, but he blocked her blade with a single hand. The force of his strength pushed her back, making her stumble. The crowd erupted, whispers and shouts of awe filling the air. "You cannot beat me," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "I have fought many warriors. Stronger than you," she added, trying to hide her fear. He shook his head slowly, calm and unwavering. "Strength is not only in the arm, but in the mind, in control, in heart," he said. She lunged forward with renewed fury, faster and stronger than ever. But he sidestepped again, using her momentum against her. A quick feint, a sudden strike, and the challenger's blade was knocked from her hands. The crowd gasped, unable to believe what they were witnessing. The challenger stared at him in shock, her pride crumbling with each passing second. She had never faced someone like him before, someone so calm, so controlled, yet so powerful. He moved like water, flowing, precise, unstoppable. Every step he took seemed effortless, every strike calculated. She tried to recover, grabbing her blade, but he was already there, blocking her every move, anticipating, reading her thoughts. The arena echoed with the clash of energy and metal. Spectators leaned forward, eyes wide, unable to look away. Why are you so strong?" she whispered, almost to herself. He didn't answer, only continued his precise, calculated attacks. With each movement, he showed not only strength, but intelligence, strategy, and skill. The duel had completely turned, the Earth prototype now controlling every moment. She struggled, her pride and arrogance fading, replaced with fear and respect. He pressed forward, each step deliberate, each strike unstoppable. The crowd roared, cheering for the underdog who he'd become the master of the fight. Even the announcer's voice trembled. This is unbelievable. The Earth prototype, unstoppable," he said. The challenger realized, finally, that the duel was no longer hers to win. She tried one last desperate attack, but he sidestepped, grabbed her arm, and held her firmly. Her weapon fell to the ground, and for the first time, she felt powerless. The arena was silent, the tension so thick it could be felt in every corner. The Earth prototype stepped back, giving her space, calm and composed. "You challenged me," he said softly, "but now you see, I am not what you expected." She looked at him, fear and awe in her eyes, and in that moment, everyone understood that tables had turned, completely and forever. The challenger stood frozen, her pride shattered, her breathing heavy. Her blade lay on the ground, a symbol of her defeat, yet she refused to look away. The Earth's prototype remained calm, standing tall, his aura radiating quiet strength. The crowd was silent for a moment, unable to believe what they had witnessed. For the first time, the arena was filled not with laughter, but with awe and respect. Spectators whispered to each other, He really is the Earth prototype." Even those who had mocked him earlier now stared in amazement. The underdog had become the champion, the quiet man now unstoppable. The challenger lowered her eyes, shame and admiration mixing in her gaze. She had fought many battles, defeated countless opponents, yet none had prepared her for this. He approached her slowly, not to attack, but to offer a gesture of respect. "Your courage brought you here," he said softly, "but strength is more than pride." She looked up, eyes wide, realizing he meant no harm. The audience held their breath, sensing the gravity of the moment. Even the announcer was speechless, struggling to find words. Finally, he whispered, "The Earth prototype. Victorious, beyond all expectations." The challenger nodded slowly, finally bowing her head in respect. You're incredible," she said quietly, almost in disbelief. The Earth's prototype smiled faintly, a calm, confident smile. "Respect is earned, not demanded," he replied, voice steady and firm. The crowd erupted into cheers, a roar so loud, it shook the arena. Some clapped, some jumped in excitement, all showing admiration for his skill. He had not only won the duel, but also the respect of everyone present. The Earth prototype had proven that courage, intelligence, and heart mattered more than size or appearance. The challenger stepped back, still in shock. She had underestimated him, judged him by appearances, and now she had learned her lesson. The Earth prototype extended a hand, helping her stand fully upright. She accepted it, a silent acknowledgement of his strength and honor. The arena lights shone brightly on him, the once mocked fighter now a symbol of hope. Spectators began to cheer louder, chanting his name, celebrating his victory. The Earth prototype looked out at the crowd, calm but proud. He had faced ridicule, mockery, and doubt, and yet he had risen above it all. He turned to the challenger one last time, bowing respectfully. "You fought bravely," he said. "Never forget that true strength comes from within." She nodded, a small smile forming, knowing she had faced someone extraordinary. The duel was over, but its lessons and legacy would remain forever. The crowd continued to cheer, the arena alive with excitement and admiration. The Earth prototype had proven not only his skill, but the value of perseverance and courage. The challenger stepped aside, defeated but wiser, and as he walked from the arena, every eye followed him, every heart inspired by his story, no longer mocked, no longer underestimated. The Earth prototype stood as a true hero. He had turned ridicule into respect, weaknesses into strength, doubt into awe. The duel had ended, but his legend had just begun, and in the hearts of all who watched, the Earth prototype would never be forgotten.